prescription. Bad wee robots in there.
I just want one that'll clean the house.
You get the
So there you go.
One glitch and you get some cyanide pills in your fucking aspirin prescription. Good. Rather you than me. Fuck. I'll take one of these fucking dodgy potions any day. It's just a prank, bro. Trust me, we could have taken it well further.
Don't say taking it further.
Welcome to a very special episode 41 of the Unmonetisables, the official podcast for the FAWK Chronicles, the dumbest search for intelligence, and steps us a podcast to the Indi Scots network, Scots with Soul podcast. My name is Cpt Privilege, and with me through no choice of their own are Dr. Darkside.
This podcast's a prank, bro.
Grandmaster Tech.
Do you breathe through your arse when you're doing that intro?
And our second ever podcast guest, the one and only Gingpin, my co-star and co-host of Hype CW on Indi Scots Network.
My balls are itchy.
That's the first thing you're going with. Right, okay, brilliant. And if you're unaware, folks, what we do here is expertly dissect your primitive planet's curatable culture, aka the trending tat of the week. I'm really getting good at that. I keep forgetting to write that bit down.
Yeah, that's going to become trending.
At least you remembered something this week, yeah.
And kicking us off is the burning question. Who's going to fucking rebuild Notre Dame? Huh? Notre Dame?
Ubisoft, apparently.
Notre Dame? Don't steal my stories! Fuck's sake!
It's going to be the next Call of Duty location.
Yeah, well, if you didn't know, got burnt down because of renovation. That's some fucking shit hot renovation.
Yeah, somebody left a lamp on a...
6 million euros or something like that. It was coming from Brussels.
Fuck's sake.
So,
a bunch of millionaires.
It's not an insurance job, not an insurance.
A bunch of millionaires have said they're donating to fucking get a bunch of artists and shit, bunch of top of your line guys.
Yeah.
But the best donation was for Ubisoft, who turned around and said, "Oh, it's alright. We've got the 3D scan." Because obviously, like, the ship was built that long ago. There's no plans. There's no actual plans to it. There's a bunch of fucked up pictures. That'd take years to get really remap that. Whereas Ubisoft done it for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
so they're just like, there's a full 3D scan and €500,000.
Just rebuild it.
Rebuild
it and they will come burn it down again.
Fucking good guy, Ubisoft, man.
But you know who else offered money?
No, I don't.
The Walt Disney Company.
I was going to say, it's fucking much reaching for the passes who've been who's been thawed out.
And Badoo, the online dating site.
Really? The online dating site? Now in your top 10
why.
destinations for the perfect date, Notre Dame's burnt carcass.
I love more how he shook his head and put his hands up like, Badoo, I'm not on this dating site, I don't know, honestly.
That's the only way I found out about this, really.
But apparently they said it was started by an electrical short circuit.
Well...
I thought it was because of a workie, like, dropped his fire.
Aye, or left a hot lamp switched on or something like that, aye.
But the more interesting reason is that Radical Rabbi says Notre Dame fire retribution for 13th century Talmud burning. Apparently the French burned a whole bunch of Jewish holy books in the 13th century, and he says it's divine retribution for burning all their books.
I want whatever this guy's been smoking. It sounds like pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's some ancient ass karma right there.
It's only taken like 1,000 years or something, you know.
This guy just wants to start a war. Like,
it sounds like a fucking weird reverse. It's just like false flag accusing the Jews somehow. It's like this Jewish mystical magic he's getting.
Any excuse.
It's like the beginning of Modern Warfare 1, you know what I mean? The guy talking in the background, like, we shall start the burning. We shall start the fires. We shall kill everyone.
Why doesn't just everybody start praying and get Jesus to do it? Get him back.
Just get Jesus whacked in with his constructive
This is a good time
contract.
for him to come back.
why do we need money to rebuild it? Jesus can rebuild it.
He just comes down here like that, ball.
Well, they did. They prayed and they got donations of millions.
Well, there was there was a miracle.
No atheism on this podcast, sir.
There was a miracle.
I've converted, mate.
Thousands of bees living on Notre Dame's roof survived the fire.
Yeah, that's because they were the smart motherfuckers and buzzed off when it started.
Buzzed off.
Yeah.
No, the thing I liked though was the
Exactly. Suck your fucking wings into me with that.
Hey, I went right on to that.
Speaking.
The thing I liked about it was the picture of the gold cross that was just still standing. This was an act of God, but everybody was like, well, wood burns at 600, gold is 1,000 Celsius.
I saw that picture and I'm in agreement with the temperature, but my first thought was, well, the stones aren't burnt and crumbling, so that doesn't mean shit.
You're a bunch of fucking questioners, alright?
Gold crosses don't melt steel beams.
It's a divine intervention, alright? From divine intervention by Ubisoft here.
That is
Moving on
really
to-
impressive.
I feel a
though.
segue coming on.
Don't feel me coming on. Fucking. Speaking of good things computer games have done, this week the PS5 has announced
Yeah,
it's henceforth coming.
and it's going to have a disc drive.
Yeah,
Of course
totally.
it's going to have a disc drive. What type of loser ass console wouldn't have a disc drive?
Oh, I don't know.
What a
Microsoft?
dickless console you would have if you had a console without a disc drive.
Microsoft.
Xbox One S? Is that what you're saying?
The Xbox One
They
S,
knocked 50 quid off it and it doesn't have a disc drive. What a cockless console. You know they literally ripped that thing apart on Inside Game in the Funhouse, guys. Just ripped one apart, like got one off them fresh, opened that fucker up and we're like, there's the port. There, yeah, then they literally just pulled the disc drive out.
That was the thing. See when you
yoinked it out.
see when you watch the promotional video about how they came up with the idea, they actually take the piss out of themselves, and at the end she's just like they put a bit of tape over the drive and they're all looking at it like, oh my god, it's like it doesn't even exist. And it's like, mate, you're not just taking a piss out yourself. You think you're being funny, but this is being serious right now. This is how dumb you are.
Anyway,
What the fuck?
fuck off about Xbox. We're here to talk about
People-
Sony and PlayStation.
People need their discs because how are you going to play your knocked off games? Like how you
It's not that. I like the pile in my games in front of me.
like to
What
pick
I
it
got.
up and feel it and caress it.
It's just
My
whatever
question.
mounted over the years, and then take it down to the SEX. Like, how much do I get for trading?
£2.
this in?
You get £2, mate.
10 years later, complaining to Sony that it's no backwards compatible.
Holding all your games so they can't be played with the next generation console, except they can, motherfucker.
No, they
Backwards compatibility,
Backwards
PS4.
Back to PS4.
Backwards
Still.
compatibility, but I heard some like techies talking about it, and they were saying basically it's just a souped up PS4.
Yeah.
that goes to what 60
Yeah, it's a PS4 Pro
8K or
Plus.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 8K
8K.
compatible, 8K ready.
Yeah,
But it's
how
just
many
it's a
people
PS4.
actually? How many people right now have a 4K TV?
I'm still fucking.
I'm still
Still
rocking a
setting up.
HD TV.
Mine's is HD ready. I swear
Yeah.
that fucker's they went 1080p since I've got it. You know what I mean? Fuck you.
You turn it on and you can actually have to crank the handle at the side of it to power the screen up. You know.
I genuinely thought 8K was a joke
Maybe
when
he's like
fucking
a
Stadia
show.
was geared at banter like an 80K and fucking 90K. I was like, what shop?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, 8K is a thing. I was like,
There's somebody out
course
there
it's-
that's still rocking a TV so old that when they turn the power on, 3 houses down's lights go off.
you can hear the
You know what I
fucking
mean?
tube in the background warming up.
You need fucking supervision to be able to tell the difference between 4K and 8K anyway.
You just need fucking vision full stop.
I remember Grand Theft Auto. Somebody done a 4K graphics upbuild on that.
Yeah, aye.
And it was that powerful. Even the modems and machines and that
Broke
were
the
just breaking
computer.
down. But it looked amazing.
With the software
Yeah.
more
For the 2
powerful than the
seconds that it
hardware.
worked,
Well, that was a 5-minute video.
Oh.
I don't know how long it took them, but just
Oh, it was like
fucking
what
amazing.
was that I was reading last night? It was the 4K, 6K, 8K argument, right? And you know how they've been taking like old games, like old Final Fantasy games and shit like that, and revamping them up to like, oh, it's HD, oh, it's 4K. And somebody was like, yeah, we'll show you what 4K is like revamped. They took the original game, gave you a picture, that's it. Here's the 4K version, and you're looking at it like, it actually looks fucking bogging. Like it looks like a 10-year-old has just taken Photoshop and slapped layers together. There's not even any blending or anything to make the terrain and the objects look like they're on the fucking terrain.
Yeah.
It's just floating cards.
Dude, I want to play
what?
Doom on 640 by 480.
Again.
Well better.
And everybody listening to this has gone, what the fuck, 640 to 480? What's Doom? Oh, you mean that new game that you can play on Steam? Oh, no, we mean the original game that
Play it
you
on your
use
watch now.
12 floppy disks to fuck. Aye, exactly. Doom on your watch.
Speak about Doom and floppy disks, fuck's
Oh,
sake.
don't say Doom.
Well, what is doomed is we expertly fucking pointed out in our amazing, well-received hit series Chanime as the coming Anime Gate, hashtag Anime Gate, as Sony has
Anime,
preemptively.
is this a thing?
I'm telling you, what I told you it was coming.
Ahead of the curve.
I told you it was
As we
coming.
were
Right?
with toy exploitation as
Sony
well.
have started saying, no, you're not putting any dodgy games like that. Go and cover up the nipples, please.
Wow.
Devil May Cry, is that an arse crack? Go and put a wee lens flare of
Did
that
they
arse
even
crack.
mention Dead or Alive? Because that thing is just porn.
Well, Not yet. Like,
Japan is just porn.
This is a future fucking push, I think, and a bunch of wee shitty, dodgy Chanime-esque games.
Yeah.
Literally, schoolgirls, but they're giggling, but they're in the shower, and there's loads of fucking.
Oh no, senpai! Don't senpai!
Yeah, there's bubbles over my nipples, but there's and now they're putting in more steam and shit, and actually hazing things up. And Sony are just getting that wee bit more.
And then anime's only going to be available in the dark web now, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, it's going to get to the point where there's going to be a big revolutionary movement, and it's going to be, you know what? Fuck censorship.
So we should explain this.
Let's go the opposite direction and just let everything through.
If you weren't aware, explain for 5-year-olds.
So we started watching. I started coming to the guys with some anime that I'd watched.
Porn.
Specifically, dodgy as fuck anime.
Porn.
It's not porn. It's not. We've discussed this. Okay.
Clearly porn.
And the tag basically was hentai or not hentai, like hentai being the anime name for actual porn. But this stuff's right on the fucking line, like right on the line. They're always high school kids. The lassies have always got boobs the size of fucking yes and no.
It's got a story
age in Japan because the age of consent in Japan is anything from 13 to fucking 15.
Yeah, and it's got a story enough for you to think that it might not be porn. It's like, you know, the old porn films where a guy would be in like fixing the sink, and you know it's like that.
It does all that, but then it
version.
doesn't actually go full penetration or anything. But some of the ones we've seen are right like proper. They call it ecchi. I just think that's the Japanese way of saying edgy, to be quite honest.
Like, go back and watch, what was it, Monster Musume was one of the ones we've done.
There's a monster leafy girl who gets her nipple licked, and
I think was that the one that we actually confirmed as hentai?
Zombie shit, where
the only one.
A zombie bird with her tip falls off, so he's got his sore tip back on and shit.
But it's so tasteful. You don't actually see any organs or anything like that. It's just side boob, ass crack,
and a half serpent
like
lassie that he's got to peel her skin for, and that because it's I don't know. It's art. I mean,
I would rather just watch
art.
Like,
it's like,
porn,
exactly.
Porn. I would just.
That's it. It's probably more embarrassing to be caught watching that than it is for somebody to walk in and catch you watching raw, straight up porn. But instead, you're like, I'm watching porn. Go give me some time, man.
Stop looking at me.
on the subject,
in fact, they'll keep looking at me.
UK to introduce porn age checks in July. Age check scheme designed to stop under 18s viewing pornographic websites will come into force on the 15th of July.
Didn't they already do that with like your phone companies and shit? You had to verify that you wanted to watch dodgy material.
There was old ones that used to do it. It's like they used to do it themselves by enter your credit card details to verify you're 18-year-old or something like that.
That's just some scam sites. Is that why we're getting all these fucking dodgy pop-ups or the ship?
Probably. You know.
Who the fuck gave you a credit card, tech?
That was yours.
For fun.
You've no money in it though, so it's alright.
That's why we've no money.
Exactly. You've not had any money for like the past 20 years.
That's why all the Patreon money's going on, isn't it?
Yeah, just start a GoFundMe page, man. Make up some sob story.
Nice. I have no wanks money.
Mommy won't let me watch porn.
Don't call me mommy. That's gross. Speaking about questionable age sexual activities, Danielle Cohn is pregnant. JK lol.
Does Danielle Cohn?
Don't keep up, Darkside.
I knew you were going to have a go for that. Come on.
She's a social media star. She's a YouTuber and fucking Instagrammer or Snapchatter or one of those.
Come on, Gingpin. Did you know that? Exactly.
Has she got a premium on Snapchat?
No, she's underage. She probably does then, actually, when you say it like that. But yeah, she faked a pregnancy and then faked a marriage and then admitted on a live stream it was just a prank. While her boyfriend was like, yo, that was just a prank, y'all. But trust me, we could have taken it well further, dog. We could have, like, total proud as fuck that they've just faked a pregnancy and shit. You're like,
I want to know how much further they were going to take it.
I know.
When they said to that, taking it further, dude.
Oh, really? I know. I really like. They're oblivious to the fact that everyone was like. But the fact that everyone's picking apart, they're like, hold on, because she's like fucking 14 or 15. And he's like just turned 16. So
Yeah.
the fact they were faking the marriage was bad enough.
Oh,
but
this
then
is the
faking
thing that was
pregnancy
on Drama
top of it.
Alert. I just saw the headline on Drama Alert, 15-year-old YouTuber gets pregnant. Oh, well, I never
So proud of him.
listened
He
to the
watches
story.
Drama Alert. He's come a long way, Tech, isn't
No, I don't watch it.
If we were told, that's not really a shocking thing anymore. Like 15 or 14 pregnant, you're like,
Aye, like 3-year-old
it's
being
just your
pregnant
average,
would
innit?
maybe still be shocking
aye, but oh my god.
there, you know what I
It's
mean?
the national average, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to
The
my
second
homie.
in.
I've got a
16.
homie out there that's like 32 and he's a granddad. It's like, god damn, bro. It was different times, but
Yeah, but you know when
could be
you
worse.
like,
Could be in Japan.
aye, but like back at the point in time when families were having kids at like 16, 17-year-old, and they were having over the course of the next 10 years, they were having
40
you know,
main, so
10 of them. At that point, you know, you could be a 32-year-old granda or grandmother. You know what I mean? But now to be like, oh, I'm only 28, but I'm already a great grandmother. And you're like, oh, fuck what?
how
You
did
shit
you?
me.
Where?
By the time your granddaughter's 16 and tidy, you'll still be tidy
Aye.
at fucking 50.
Like, what the fuck? You're a dad and you just got rid of your, like, crusty plooks. And now
Don't
you're
say
starting your
crusty
fuck-
plooks. Oh, really? Don't say crusty
Yeah, so
fucking
come say,
plooks.
don't say things.
Yeah.
Well done,
Jesus.
Tech. Very
Yeah,
fucking
well
You
done.
shouldn't say that. There's,
Bum
nobody should say
years.
that.
Moving on swiftly from your crusty plooks into my favourite
That's going to be
section
the
of the
title of this
show,
one, isn't it?
where we get to talk about what I'm doing or what we are doing. Or it's an ever-evolving segment. Give me your shit, lads. Come on. Cometh to me with your fucking
you want my
nonsense.
shit?
Recon.
You really want my shit?
No, I don't want your shit. I
Do you want good shit or bad shit?
good shit? Give me that good
Right.
shit.
You want to go first?
Okay. TikTok vanishes from Google, Apple
Of course it
app
does.
stores in India after ban.
Of course it does.
Basically, they're saying that it's bringing the whole online world into disrepute because it's it's like akin to almost pornography, watching
It's like grooming
young
site.
people
Oh,
dancing about
dancing
and
and twerking and right.
twerking
Yeah, like-
and stuff.
It's
Yeah.
not even that, their adverts put me off.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing me lassies doing all that seductive mouse singing. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this? Why is
Pedo
this so
bait.
popular? It's a
Oh,
grooming.
what-
It's a
aye,
grooming.
exactly.
TikTok to a
What-
pedo bomb.
What's the one? The fucking they bring a wee towel up and boom, and then boom, change clothes. Boom, change clothes again, and you're like, but the very first frame was a lassie standing with a towel covering
Aye.
just the top of her tits, and you're like, motherfucker, she's like 12,
Yeah,
and
sketchy.
that's dodgy. Like,
It's etchy.
yeah,
So-
it's edgy.
On
Etchy
April-
IRL.
On April 3rd, they banned TikTok, saying it encouraged pornography and warning that sexual predators could target child users.
Oh, they have.
Yeah.
There's already a band of motherfuckers that have been hunting down and catching TikTok
Exactly.
pedos, like some really fucking
TikTok
weird guys.
motherfuckers, it's only a
It's
matter
fucking
of
sickening me,
time.
man. It even gets that far.
Yeah,
It's so
that's it.
fucking easy for fucking scumbag pedos to get
Yeah.
in. Like, Fortnite's been pulled up a few times with it.
Oh, aye.
Like, folk gangs and that are using Fortnite to groom Waynes and
Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly.
The fucking ISIS were using Fortnite, for God's sake. They're using Candy Crush.
They're
Fucking
different.
whatnot.
They're alright.
Mate, there's fucking pedos on Roblox and Minecraft.
Ban
and,
Fortnite, ban Roblox.
You know what I mean? How far did we go? Club Penguin and shit. It's like, bruh.
Obviously, terrorist
Animal
links.
I think we should just sponsor rogue groups and rogue elements like the Wolf Hunters to go and fucking hunt these fuckers
Oh,
down because the
God.
police ain't
100%.
doing it. Mob justice all the way, you know?
And then that's fucking knee hitting them, man. Just turn the camera and fucking pipe bomb the cunts.
Oh,
Hang the bastards, hang them high.
controversial.
Is it? Is it? Killing pedos controversial. I'm not saying do it. I'm
Oh,
saying
I-
sponsor people who
I'd
might
happily
think
do
about it.
Bring back the Holocaust, man. Fucking gas them. I don't care.
Oh.
The pedo holocaust.
Aye.
The pedo cost.
On that note, Wayne Hennessy desperate to learn about Nazis. Crystal Palace boss Roy Hodgson.
That was
Right, I don't know anything about football, but this was interesting. Crystal Palace goalkeeper Wayne Hennessy is desperate to learn about Adolf Hitler and World War II after being accused of making a Nazi salute, says Eagles manager Roy Hodgson. The Wales international 32 was charged by the Football Association for making an offensive gesture. However, the case was not proven after Hennessy told an FA panel he did not know what a Nazi salute was.
That's a good way to
I-
get
I-
it.
And there's a picture of him with his hand under his nose and his other arm in the air.
I have got, I have got,
But he doesn't know what
I
a
have
Nazi
got a
salute
couple
is.
of things to defend that, right? One, that was a banging segue, by the way.
That was all done.
Two, it is actually possible for people not to know what the fuck World War II is, yet to still know that salute because of people still doing it.
It's possible, but then when he's saying right after it that he's really anxious to learn more about Adolf Hitler and World War II, it just doesn't sound good.
Exactly.
The
But
thing I read about it was the first thing he did say was like, "Who's Hitler?" I'm like, the picture is that's perfect.
The FA panel found Hennessy showed a lamentable degree of ignorance about Adolf Hitler, fascism, and the Nazi regime.
Are you implying that footballers don't know much about history and education? That's fucking shocking.
Hennessy denied the charge and said any resemblance to the Nazi gesture was absolutely coincidental.
That's one fucking coincidence, bro.
I love our gathering of friends at a fucking table and then.
Unless he's literally goose stepping, mimicking fucking John Cleese.
He was trying to do a dab and he got it wrong.
What was it? Das Dab.
Uber dab.
Uber Dab, yes. That's going to be the new t-shirt design, Uber Dab.
No, it's not.
Right.
You've got to get the umlauts.
You can dab when you go.
I'm not dabbing. I don't dab.
Oh, I'm glad there's no fucking camera here.
For the audio listeners, Gingpin was doing a Hitler dab, whatever that is. Make it up in your own mind.
The new 2019 dab.
That's got a video
Hitler
going,
did no
fuck
dab.
it.
A nab, a nazab, a nazabi,
The Zabi. So,
a dabsy.
This did not originate on this podcast.
The
so talking about originating, apparently scientists have discovered from bone samples that rabbits were in the UK in the Roman era. Right, that wasn't that long ago, guys.
Great story, bro.
Yeah, that wasn't really that long ago. If they had said prehistoric era, I might have been impressed.
Wow.
What were they eating
rabbits
before
used to be
rabbits?
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Island
like,
coos.
Yeah, like,
Each other like a bunch of fucking savages.
But that's what gets me. I'm like, you found rabbits that existed in the Roman times.
Hey.
Well done.
What scientists are getting paid for this? You need sack.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's good to know though. You might get some folk that don't know.
Well, that's going to be a pub quiz question or something.
Maybe somebody bought like a pot of like rabbit stew that had like Roman numerals on it as like a date, a sell by date or something. And they're like, "Is this legit? Like rabbit from Roman times? Go and test that for me." Oh yeah, it's legit. Oh, brilliant, great. Now I can punt it on eBay.
See, there's a worry there because that's just a spell mistake waiting to happen. Rabid stew.
Rabbit stew.
It's some sort of fucking Roman concoction, some pollution, some fucking not a pollution, a fucking potion.
Oh, talking about weird, strange potion.
Don't force a segue in there like that.
Why not?
I guarantee a fiver on it. This ain't related whatsoever.
If it's not about wizards, I'm
You're
not
going to break that
interested.
segue if you force it anymore.
Don't say force it anymore.
And then
Pig brain partially revived after death.
I had this. This totally creeps me out.
there's
man.
potions for that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the pig was dead. It was from an abattoir. The brain was delivered to the scientists, and they managed to revive it. But they basically stated that there was no electrical impulses that would show them that the pig was actually alive.
It was just a natural reaction because they whispered that David Cameron's coming back to fuck you, and the pig was fucking joking.
I just don't know why they did this. Why did they?
Basically, I can understand
because we're creating human pig hybrids and fucking laboratories all
I read
over the
the whole
world.
article and I still don't understand why they did this.
They were trying to do it so that they can.
Why do it so they can?
It's
Exactly.
creepy, man. This is like Nazi,
See what's happening.
level kind of stuff. This is creepy.
See the stuff that last in the news. See what they've already done. Like there's shit we'll never know or it'll surface in time. But
what was it? There was the monkey head transplant that was successful.
I've seen the pictures of
They
that.
were supposed to do a
Get it
human
banned.
head transplant.
Yeah,
in
that got
Russia.
banned. Yeah, that got
Can't
stopped.
be banned. I thought that
That got shelved so they could hear or see about
No,
it.
it was legit, but the guy was well up for it, eh? But
he was in the wheelchair.
Well,
The guy was mad. Can't remember. He had an illness anyway, but you see the head was normal, but his body was all
and he's just like, look, if I'm going to die anyway, you may as well try this.
Is this because they hope that they can revive some of the Neds out there.
What?
This is like some kind of,
It's implying that they're all brain dead.
Yeah.
No, true.
You see what I did there?
Basically, what they,
Nice.
Don't get cocky, eh?
don't. Basically, what they were trying to do is they were trying to figure out ways that they can potentially keep the human brain alive longer during things like strokes and stuff like that.
Theoretically,
I think
theoretically they've worked out how to do it.
Yeah.
But I genuinely thought this was going to be green light, go.
Yeah.
Because the guy was up for it. If it works, it'd be fucking.
Yeah, a head transplant.
The thing is, it would be down to the mind. That was the main thing. They're sitting there saying, "We can do this." Like,
imagine you woke up one day and your head was on a fucking body.
But
creeped out.
It'd be creeped out, but it'd be better than like floating in a jar or something somewhere.
See, I want the future. I want my head in a jar. I want to live on for fucking ever. I want to be in a computer.
Fuck having Donald Trump living forever on like some kind of bodybuilder's body or something. God, no.
They're still hacking away at that wall 2,000 years later.
He's gonna build himself.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I told you Mexico would build for it.
I'm gonna do it myself.
Oh, imagine that. I'd love to be in a jar. That'd be amazing.
I'd love to be in a jar.
I've got some crackers stories here. Berkshire seesaw pair attempt to bounce marathon.
Mate, you just said a bunch of child words there at the end.
It doesn't make sense to face it. Two men have begun an attempt to set a world record for the longest time spent continuously on a seesaw.
Pedos.
What?
Why are two men on a kid's seesaw? What the fuck?
What do you do one day to wake up and go, here mate, you want to just go on a seesaw for
Some extremely amazing drugs apparently.
Basically they'd been sitting getting high on the seesaw for years and went, here by the way, we probably beat the record on that.
We've been seesawing here for 3 days because we've been like high off base or something.
But 9 times out of 10 when you check a world record, you're like, I could beat that in like 4 days. You're alright, man. Like,
how long is it to go? Is there already a record? And they're trying to beat it, or they're setting a record, and there's a limit to how high it goes.
There's a difference between beating a record and setting a record that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Like just bouncing like 20
India
times
is
on
amazing.
I can confirm they've completed it. Berkshire seesaw pair complete world record attempt. Two men have completed their world record attempt by bouncing on a homemade seesaw close to 80,000 times. And they were beating a previous record by one of their fathers-in-law who set a record of 80 hours on the bounce.
80 hours,
set in
man.
1969.
Good old.
69, no, so she like 69 and went on today. Fair the fuck enough. 2019.
what kind of seesaw though? Is there
It was
rules and
a
regulations?
homemade seesaw made by the father-in-law. He like bodged it together and
that's
stuff.
But there could be there could be a
suspension, perpetual motion.
We don't know if it was a kind of official kind of
And did they have-
certified seesaw.
Did they have to
case.
properly bounce, like properly pushing up?
Or was there
or was it just like
in the middle rolling so it made
Water, just water.
This looked
Tell you, the seats on it look really comfortable.
it would have to be for 80
that's
hours.
not what a fucking real seesaw is like.
Yeah.
I remember it.
wooden seats.
Exactly.
I'm in it on that fucker.
Exactly.
Your crotch is riding you like chafing like fuck.
Oh,
Exactly,
I bet it
80
was.
hours on an old classic wooden seesaw with just some lead paint on it. Yeah.
Chafing like you've been fucking dry humped by a cactus.
This is like the equivalent of sitting on a stool versus sitting on like the Queen's throne or something like that. What the fuck? Bouncing on a seesaw with a big massive comfy paddy seat. What do they want? First class treatment and all? Somebody to come by. Here's a glass of wine.
For 8 hours, though? Is that not like 3 days?
80 hours and 10 minutes they did.
Like,
Was he dead at the end of
continuously?
it?
I bet you they must have had sore arses. I tell you.
Continuously, no breaks.
Continuously, no breaks. They slept. One of them would sleep, and the other one would keep it going. While the other one slept, they would take turns about. And I don't know how they went to the toilet.
I bet you the guy back in the 60s didn't fucking sleep. He was that savage.
Fucking right.
I've been at this for 3 days.
Each man achieved about 3 hours sleep on Saturday night, while the other used pull ropes to continue the seesaw's motion.
That's
Is that
like,
cheating?
see
Jane, that's
that.
cheating.
I don't know. I'm with the other guys. I want to see. I want to like see the data for the guy back in the 60s versus these guys now.
I bet he didn't have
he didn't have that. He didn't have that.
He
He didn't have that. He was doing that. They weren't. He? So you know what?
There's one guy on the one seesaw, he sell.
That's how savage this
one
guy
side
was.
up off it, jump up, the other push it down.
I think they were allowed off to go to the toilet. It says the pair slept in reclining
shite
car
bags.
seats as they moved up and down, although the machine's toilet and a cubicle in the centre was stationary. So obviously they
shite
got off to go to the
bags.
toilet.
Commitment, man. Just
yeah,
go.
the guy in the 60s
Yeah,
probably
it's
looked like a
hardcore,
bunch of pigeons had been sitting on the fucking thing, you know?
Oh,
The wife comes out occasionally to scrape it up.
It's like the kind of tournaments that's more popular in America, where they'll have a brand new car, and they're usually in shopping centres, but everybody who enters, you got to touch the car.
Yeah.
It's the last one
Touch
touching.
the truck. Yeah, they had a TV show here in the UK like that. Like
was it?
years and years ago? Yeah.
See, I always remember it was a vegan activist that won it, and they're like, "What you got to do with the car?" And it's like, "I'm going to crush it." And it was like, I want to see a good, like, it was 28 hours or something. They were all holding into this, and he was like, "He's got to crush it." I'm like, "You fucking."
Yeah, I'm like, you're going to crush it. You're going to crush this car to make a point when it already took, like, probably about 40 hours worth of industrial heavy machinery
carbon
to
footprint the size of
make
your
this,
life.
and you're just going
Yeah.
to fucking crush it.
Oh, he was the strongest one out of them all, but there was always, obviously, you get the guys that are just standing there and they just turn round because they want to change hands.
You constantly have to have one hand touching it, and
Yeah.
people
Aye.
would just like forget for a second, and that's it.
Split second, you just see their faces,
You'd
like zoom
been
in and that,
standing
and
there
it's
for
just
20 hours, and
Did you go see the show? It was the
Oh.
Jimmy Carr one. It never lasted, but it was fucking brilliant, man. It was a ripping American show, and basically you built up to winning a car at the end of the show. But
that
it was
the one
like
with the paint
somebody
bomb?
who's your fucking ex or your grandchild or somebody that fucking hates you gets to come on and decide if you don't get enough points. Like they get like X amount of seconds to do damage to your car. With like paintball guns, baseball bats, all that shit. This wifey just walks up, man, pans the window and paint bomb in the car, poof, it's done. It's just like done. They're like, what?
that's like the
Fuck
tattoo
you.
show. That one really got me.
that's a bit fucking egregious. That
You get to
shit,
tattoo your ex or something.
just
Oh,
tattoo of
fucking-
us.
That was
I
terrible.
hate that. The
From the
reactions are
job
always
they
the
show
same.
a lot, mob.
Yeah.
You're like, why would you go on that?
It's
Because
fucking henna, probably. Yeah, it's got to be bullshit tattoos, temp tat.
It's one of those you're like, well,
Vic,
yeah,
it's
like
Vic again.
what did you expect them to put like a really lovely tattoo
Aye.
on you?
If
No,
if my
no.
ex came to me and said, "Oh, go on this show, you get $2,000," I'd be like, "Right, sweet, but I'm tattooing you." It'd be the fucking worst, ugliest, hideous thing ever. Make sure even try to cover it would be fucking difficult.
It'd be like the Mona Greaser or something like that. You know what I mean?
I would just do like Sticky Vicky or something, full nude, right on her fucking back. You might not be able to see it, but everybody else
no.
can. Like, fuck.
Right.
Ugh.
Well, fire through some more stories here. Demon with fangs arrested after woman found dead with bite marks on neck.
What the fuck?
A man with fangs in his mouth and eyes like a demon has been arrested over the alleged murder of a popular tattoo artist found with bite marks on her neck.
Okay, one, not alleged, okay? The guy's dressed like a demon with fucking fangs in his teeth. There's fang-shaped fucking holes in her neck. We don't need Sherlock Holmes to figure this shit out. Stick a stake in his heart and make sure he's done.
That's a
Banish him
cover.
with a fucking banishing spell to the nether realm.
That is a cover up.
This
For
is in
fuck's sake.
Ternopil.
Don't arrest
in-
him, fucking, you know what I mean? Sacrifice him.
Well,
There's no a goat.
A 27-year-old was
demon.
found dead in a blood-soaked
goat-like.
apartment in Ternopil, Ukraine, with stab wounds and bites on her neck.
Ukraine. There you go.
What are you saying? What are you implying?
It is the
They're quite
hell
old-fashioned.
of the world.
This is
like.
big. Oh, right. The Dracula thing's still
Yeah,
still
they're pretty
big. though.
biblical, yeah.
Why? They probably fucking see Van Helsing as a fucking true story.
Well, The Witcher, not
Where do you know Van?
Robot news presenter causes a stir on Russian TV. Yes.
Robot news
Russian
presenter.
state news channel Rossiya 24 has introduced a robot presenter for some of its built-ins. Alex has already caused a stir with some viewers complaining about his appearance and accusing him of peddling political propaganda. Controversial. And it looks really fucking weird. It doesn't look
That's
human, man.
Another fucking
Who's the
chai
best?
com fucking
They're
motherboard.
starting to take her jobs, man. I'm telling you.
Aye.
What you guys say?
Well, that'd be good.
It'll be good.
Aye, well, see,
Until
any
they start
job you're
crashing
working in,
trucks
and
and stuff.
there's that wee thing about robots might actually take over your company. Learn how to fucking work and fix robots. That is your next job. That's you.
Just learn to
how to
code,
break the
bro.
robot.
Just learn to code, you know what I
Aye,
mean?
just learn how to fix robots.
How many my only argument for that is how many people have had to go through the absolute toil and slavery of shelf packing. is like one of the most demeaning jobs on the planet.
There's going to be a robot for that.
Fucking,
There's
like,
got to be.
There is. When
There
you
is,
look at the
yeah.
your what do you call them? Pharmacists.
Yeah.
Like there be machines in the back. Like there's a live feed. Like you're sitting there. It's just this wee fucking robot. I think goes up.
Going about the
picks every-
shelves and
Aye.
Yeah.
Warehouse just picks up everything.
exactly.
You were going to say pharmacists, eh?
Aye.
Parmesan.
It's easy version of a chemist. But I just asked I was fucking waiting on my prescription. Like,
Yeah.
fucking quality. Mad wee robots and tell.
It's
I just want one that'll clean the house.
like, well,
But you get the
okay, so
Hoovers,
there you go.
One
Yeah.
glitch and you get some cyanide pills in your fucking aspirin prescription, mate. Good.
This is
Rather you than me. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'll take one of the fucking dodgy potions any day of the week.
Well, your brain cells they need to be get kept alive
Then
somehow.
he
So,
kickstarted
yeah.
thinking about you fucking pair.
Kim, I found out it's quite interesting, right? And I only found this out last week, and I've just found out it was 6 months ago. What year are we in?
2019, I believe.
19.
I could be wrong.
Year of the pig.
A British doctor has claimed he's invented a makeup that will resist to an acid attack.
Damn,
Whoa,
boy.
dude.
Acid attacks, I think we've had about 5 or 6 the last couple
Major
of years.
ones.
You're going to have to
yeah.
cake that shit on, though. Right?
Well,
No.
You're going to have to look
apparently
like
it's a formula that's
clown or something.
non-reactive to your normal makeup, but you can put it in like
Nice.
your products
Yeah.
for makeup. But 10 years.
Exactly.
British guy, London, I think we've had 3 attacks in the last year or two.
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
really
of years.
horrible, eh?
There was ones in Glasgow as
yeah.
well. It's 2019, we're fucking acid attacking, and cunts are having to invent makeup. Who's his name? Give him a shout out. Dr. Almas Ahmed.
Fucking on yourself,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
mate.
a
Spent
good-
the last
a good
10 years
shout.
developing it, but it's like,
No, we need
Yeah.
some bulletproof.
I would never have
hands
thought
up
of that.
and-
You know,
Yeah.
it's really left field.
You know what I mean? Like they came out with like one of the things that bugs me is the fact that like the UK has got a massive fucking knife crime problem, yet we're not allowed to buy stab-proof vests. Like, wait, what? Oh, hold on a minute. You're
I've never
telling
even
me.
thought about having to need to buy one.
I
But
know, but you know what I mean. We're not allowed to buy them.
But you
because
can buy
technically it's
acid-proof makeup now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
some
why?
gangsta ass
So you know
makeup
what?
there. That's
I want to
some
be walking down that street with
How
my
did they test
perfectly. You know,
I don't want to be the guinea pig man.
I've invented it, but there's been no testers.
What the fuck's
We'll
next?
just get a wee
Like-
bunny rabbit. Fuck it.
Fucking
Aye,
Bill.
Testing animals.
that's how it's in the bones.
In fact, no, there we go. We'll just go back to the pedo talk. Test them on pedos.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
there we go.
Hey,
Henry
that-
Humper,
hey,
there we go.
Peter
Fuck
would
it.
probably be quite happy with that. No more animal testing. Well, animal.
No,
Yeah.
we'll
I've
test
got
the
a rabbit
like
with
shock
makeup on, looks pretty good.
we'll test the bulletproof makeup on them. How
Well,
about
what we do, right? What we
What
do
the fuck is this?
What we do,
007,
right?
you know?
Ting.
is we
I'm in
tie
there.
up the pedos, make them watch fucking ecchi and dodgy hentai anime. You have a questionable age, and if there's any brain activity whatsoever, it's got a wee.
that? And we can sell this torture porn to the Japanese.
No, they don't like the torture porn, just the underage weird tentacle
Torture
porn.
It's usually
Sell
a
the
muffin.
torture porn to the elites.
It's like that's my business plan.
Right, I think I'll roughly right do it, gents, unless we have any other curveballs, left
Nah,
balls.
there's a few more, but generally they're just not quite as off the wall as that.
Drink more water.
I'll allow this.
The secret to life is don't die.
There's so many stories. We could keep going, but what's the point?
What's the point? What's the point indeed, ladies and gentlemen? And that about wraps up for episode 41 of the Unmonetisables podcast. The Unmonetisables podcast?
Yeah, not
The
Unmonetisables.
Unmonetisables. If there's any intelligent signs of life out there, type something in the comments, or you're a shite bag if you didn't. And if you're a returning consumer of our content or a FAWK virgin, we thank you for the time. And if you want to support us further, please feel free to do so by subscribing and leave it a rating/review if you're listening on iTunes. Or if you're feeling as frugal as Private Mr. Feudal, give us a wee pound off you over on Patreon. Come check out our channel, the FAWK Chronicles, on YouTube. And while you're there, feel free to take a fake a teenage pregnancy all over that subscribe button.
Get tired listening to Privilege drivel his bullshit all over that
Don't
subscribe
say
button.
dribble.
Oh, and speaking of which, 4 more.
Four away for 100.
Four
That is
more.
true.
Oh,
Four
make sure
away.
and subscribe or share it with somebody who might
Yeah.
subscribe.
Another 4, and
I've
we'll
already
get.
said that.
We'll
Keep
get.
up.
Privilege
I'm just
will no longer
reinforcing
have
that.
to say on YouTube. He will be able to read out our web address on YouTube.
That's true.
And I'll also post a nude.
subscribe twice. Start a new account and subscribe like 4 times.
No, that's cheap.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's called botting, mate.
I will be streaming over at twitch.tv/The FAWK Chronicles at random intervals, so be sure to follow the notifications on, or you'll miss out. The FAWK Chronicles are part of Indi Scots Network. Thanks for listening to the only podcast in the galaxy with 3 aliens and a human that sound like a Scottish version of 3 men and a baby.
Who's the baby?
I'm
Listen,
guessing.
what were you waving frantically whilst I was trying to read for?
I'm just punching the air, man.
You were fucking Nazi dabbing, weren't you?
No, it wasn't. No.
This is calisthenics.
Until next time, this has been Cpt Privilege, Grandmaster Tech, Dr. Darkside, and Gingpin, signing off. Closing hailing frequencies, ending communications, and gonna go Notre Dame.
What does that mean?
But not your dame. You gotta be writing on it.
Poor Dame.